What up, guys? So we're gonna be pushing with our deck. I don't know what this is, Pekka Bridge Spam or something. It worked before. I don't know if it's working now, but um, anyway, I just got some things that I want to talk about. Um, I already talked about it before actually, but then my recording got corrupted. So anyway, Samulator. See you later. Anyway, so I just want to talk about I want to say right after high school, like the life you experience after high school. The first thing I want to talk about with that would be about the friends. I'm a pretty outgoing guy. I like having my fun. I like seeing people. Um, that's definitely something that I like doing. And so ever since like that stopped, it's felt very weird not being able to see that or not being able to see people in a normal like it's like a schedule. You know, I would see people almost every other day, and it it's just weird now to me that all of a sudden I don't see anyone like that anymore. Um, so let that take, bro. That was cooked from the beginning. This guy, freaking Royal Giant, the left side, and all of a sudden I can't do anything because I have a Pekka. Anyway, um, but like I was saying, you don't see people, and I used to see people all the time. I used to enjoy seeing people at certain times, like, hey, where's this guy at lunch period? Or like, hey, where's she at? It's my second period class. And it's just weird, because they were all faces that they were doggy, and I would know them, and they get to know my life, and all of a sudden it feels like they know my life, and now they're strangers. It's like you don't know them anymore. Um, like I'm sure, like if you see each other down the hall or not down the hall, but down like the street or something, you'd be like, "Hey, how's it going? What's going on?" and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, but it's it's just weird afterwards. I try hitting up my friends, like my personal friend group, right? It's my whole friend group, and I try hitting them up, and all of a sudden it feels like they're not interested anymore. And it's not like they don't mess with me or anything like that, but all of a sudden it just feels super weird now that hold on, this guy's I just can't do nothing, dude. I literally can't do nothing. Just infinite cycles and stuff like that. All I have to do is just fireball, and I lose. And I lose anyway, because I just lose. He knows that I just lose. Like, look at this barrel. Fireball. What was I talking about? Good game. Yeah, like it was a good game, bro. Anyway, um, back to what I was saying. I will see people, yada yada. My friends. I texted one of them the other day, and it kind of feels like they have their own lives. Some of them work, some of them school, some of them do both. So they're obviously busy, and then obviously they have their families and stuff like that, and some of them have girlfriends, stuff like that. Um, but it just feels weird because I would like they were the go-to guys. I would normally hang out with them and stuff like that, and they'd normally be like, "Hey, let's bring Chris with us." You know what I mean? Let's bring him. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm down, bro. I'm down. Like, count me in, bro. Count me in. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Let's do this. And all of a sudden, that's not the case anymore. We don't see each other every day, you know, every week. So now I think it's been like about 2 months or so since I've really seen anybody, since I've really seen like any of my friends and stuff like that. So it sounds a little sad. And it is when you're kind of, I like, if you can kind of see where I'm coming at. Because I used to see them all the time. So I would hit up that one friend, nothing. I had another friend, the same time too. I literally texted him at the same time, and let's keep going. I would text him at the same time too. And he would send me one message, and that would be like down. and that's it. We try and follow up something with them, nothing, radio silence. One response would be like, "Oh, I can't," or something, something along the lines of that. So it's, people have their own lives, you know. So I mean, I get it, but then that also leads me to question: if I'm trying to reach out so hard, what would happen if all of a sudden I didn't reach out? You know what I mean? What would happen if I didn't reach out? Would I would they would they reach out to me? You know what I mean? If all of a sudden I went completely radio silent, if I went MIA, if no one was there, right? No one was there to confirm my existence. Like, oh, how's he doing? Should I reach out to him? Would someone send a text message? Hey, how are you doing? Would someone send something like, hey, we're trying to do this, you down? Or something like that, Because that's kind of how it's been feeling lately, or been feeling lately. And I don't want to sound selfish or anything like that. I'm just kind of genuinely curious about all this. What would happen if this happened? You know. Um. So it's just a weird feeling after high school. That's mainly like my whole gist of everything that I've been thinking about lately. Um. And that happened weeks ago. I talked to some of them recently, and so I talked to some of them recently, so they're okay and everything. It's just it hasn't worked out. It's just the timing, jobs and stuff like that. People starting new jobs. So it is what it is. You know, it's just like wow. Thinking back, I wish that in high school at least, I wish I made an effort to connect with more people in high school. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to sound like weird or mean or anything like that, but I feel like I talk to the same people over and over and over, and at that point, it feels like maybe I feel something like something's wrong with doing that. And it's okay to have your circle, um, but I just don't think like I don't know. You know what? I've been feeling like I've been needing to get. It's gonna sound so messed up, but like new friends. Nothing's wrong with them, nothing's wrong with my friends. It's just, I kind of wish I talked to new people. I think it's a better way to phrase it. Newer people, because in the end, right, humans are social. You're not meant to be alone. Um, yeah, I think I saw some Instagram study like 6 months ago or like a year ago. It was like males, like it's scientifically proven that men need 1 week or 1 day a week with their boys to feel or live a happy life or something like that. Um, which that would be awesome. You know what I mean? Like hanging out with some of your friends or something like that. Um, but I mean, anyway, I feel like I need like new friends. Life has just been such a blur, and it's so weird now because life is almost like meshing together. It's it's literally just oh no, it's literally just meshing together. Days just turning into like weeks. Like, hey, that week I did this instead of hey, that day I did this or something like that. Mm. Um, I didn't have audio on the whole time. I apologize for that. I didn't even know I didn't have audio on, but that's not the point. The point is, I'm just trying to get things off my chest. Trying to see if other people think the same as well. Cause I don't know. Um, we'll let me go. We'll let me go. So yeah, I mean, I've been meaning to. I just don't know how to. Like, I know how to talk to people. I just don't know where where to talk to them. And that's one thing that I want to like build a skill on. It's just talking. Like any like getting through the awkwardness, getting through the silence, stuff like that. And actually I had some experience today at work doing that. There was like a customer interested in renting out something. So, I was telling them everything about it and stuff like that. And, it was mostly work talk. It's we have to do that, you know what I mean? But you want to like I feel like you want to find a way to mix some personality in there. Um and that's what I like to kind of tell myself too. That talking to people isn't too hard. I had a friend who asked me, hey, how do you he got like an interview going on, and he said, hey, uh my first interview, what am I to expect and stuff like that. And it's always like the same questions over and over. So I wasn't too stressed out, but I know how it is when you get your first interview, Um, my first interview, I was completely stressed out. I wish let that Dark Prince go. Completely stressed out. I didn't know what was going on. I was blasting Kanye in my ear to try and motivate me. It was horrible. Um, but yeah, it was definitely nervous. So he was asking me all these questions like, hey, so are they gonna ask this? Like they'll ask you your cliches, you know what I mean? They'll be like, so tell me about yourself. What do you do for fun? Stuff like that. That's like the normal cliches. And that's not bad. Those questions are easy to answer. Why did I do that? I'm stupid. I thought I had my paper down. Um, I don't even know what I was saying. I'm not gonna lie, dude. That was just crazy. Um, so yeah,